The Goonies is an '80s masterpiece, one of my most favorite movies ever since I saw it as a kid. Not in the '80s because I wasn't born yet. I was born in '92, so I did see it a few times on TV. Caught a few scenes, didn't interest me. But then when I got the video for Christmas and watched it, well, the first time I watched it, I couldn't finish it because there was a part in it that scared me. But the second time I watched it, saw it all the way through, loved it. It's got a great cast, including Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, Ki Kwan, Jeff Cohen, Gary Green, Martha Pimpton. Corey Feldman, if I haven't said that name already, whatever. They each play the Goonies. They all do good with their role. Corey Feldman is Mouth. Mother Pimpton is a geeky tomboy girl. I forgot her name. Gary Green plays uh, Andy, the cheerleader. Josh Brolin plays Brand, who's Mikey's older brother. And even though he's a bit of a stereotypical mean jock brother, he does care about his brother deep down. And even though he bullies him and pranks him a lot, Mikey is the leader of the group. He's a guy who believes in the story of One Eye Willie, how he has pirate treasure buried in their town of Astoria, Oregon, and all the other kids don't believe him. But then they find this map, and they got to get to the treasure to find all the gold to use to save their homes from being foreclosed. And then there's these escaped convicts, the Fratellis, played by Ann Ramsey, um, Joe Pantoliano, Robert Davi. They're these criminals that care about the run into the kids, find out they're after treasure, and they try to get the treasure before they do. And the actors who play them, they make them pretty good villains. I mean, they're evil, but they're also funny. You can't help but laugh at them, especially the sibling rivalry between um, Francis and Jake, played by Joe Pantoliano and Robert Davi. And the kids who play the Goonies, they're all funny in their moments when they need to be, and they're serious when they need to be. They pull off the emotions of these characters very well. And some of the scene where Andy, where she's trying to kiss Bran, but she accidentally kisses Mikey because she had her eyes closed, that was just so funny. And I wonder, was that Sean Astin's first kiss when they shot that scene? I don't know. But But yeah, when they go through the cave and they have to get past all these booby traps, you can't help but worry and hope they make it. No matter how many times I've seen this movie, the booby trap scenes still get to me with the suspense and the chills and thrills. And Sean Astin did a great job in the role as Mikey. I mean, that Goonies Never Did Say Die speech he made at the bottom of the whale, um, that scene right there should have earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Actor in a Leading Role. But I mean, out of all the actors in this movie, deserved an Oscar for the role in this movie. I think Sean Astin was the only kid in this movie who deserved an Oscar nominee for Best Actor, but he was snubbed. Just like this movie was snubbed for a lot of other great Oscars it should have been nominated for. Did get a few here and there. I can't remember. But this is I don't know if I said it before, but this is my favorite Spielberg movie that he wrote but did not direct. And Richard Donner's a good director. I love the Lethal Weapon movies. I love the first Omen movie from the '70s. I love the first Superman movie. Um, I know that he directed the second Superman movie. That's an alternate cut that wasn't the theatrical version, and I've only seen the theatrical version of Superman 2, not the Richard Donner cut. Um, the rest of the cast who play Mikey and Brand's mom and dad, and all the other kids' parents, they do good in their roles. Well, Mikey and Brand's parents are the only parents that have the most scenes, while the other parents just appear at the end. Um, Richard Donner is a cameo as a cop on this four wheeler out looking for the Goonies near the at the end. And John Methuzak, I think that's how you say his last name. He was a football player, became an actor, and this is a big break. I think he plays Sloth, the Fratelli's younger brother, who's got mental problems, special needs, and although he's a kind person at heart, he knows the difference between good and evil, which is why he doesn't agree with what his brothers and his mom does for the crimes they commit, and he helps the Goonies near the out in the end. And I love the look of the pirate ship in the cave. It's great work. I mean, they kept that as a surprise for the kids. They didn't want the kids to see it until they shot the scene where they saw it for the first time, so the reactions were genuine. And the reactions were like, "Oh my, oh wow." That was not scripted. That was where they had to turn around and react to it, but their reaction was genuine. And the fight scene with the bad guys on the ship, It's it's all right. It's a bit slapsticky. I love how the gadgets on Koyekwan's arsenal because he's a James Bond enthusiast and he has all these homemade gadgets. I like how sometimes they fail and sometimes they work. They're so funny, and the they do help out in the final battle though. But is it the final battle? I wish there was a sword fight. The bad guys did pick up these rusty swords that the dead pirates left over, but I wanted to see a sword fight between Mikey and Ma Fratelli or any of the Fratellis, but there was no big sword fight, which disappointed me and still disappoints me to this day. And Spielberg wishes put a, they put a sword fight in there. That Richard Donner's dead, but still. Um, and I know there's a sequel coming out that they just announced, and is it too? To me, it seems like it's too little, too late. With although I am interested in seeing it, it's like that other recent announcement with Arnold Schwarzenegger saying he wants to make Commando 2 and Conan 3, and Arnold, it's too late for that, buddy. You're too old. Just like I know this movie's probably going to be about like the Goonies going on an adventure with their kids, and the Goonies all grown up now. But uh, I think they should have made the sequel while they were still young enough to play teenage versions of the characters. But well, if it had just been one movie, I would have been happy. Not everything needs a sequel, but I will be interested in how the sequel turns out when they make it. And I'm glad Spielberg is returning to write it. Mm. All right, that's it for now. I give the Goonies 2 thumbs up. It's a masterpiece. Thank you and God bless. Bye.